Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. We are just moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between our visitors and the New York Jets. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Jets ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
A first down carry for Bell, but he'll work forward for only about a yard. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
You ain't doing nothing today.
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Anunwa's got it, complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. The starters on defense here for Los Angeles.
Melvin Ingram is beginning to come into his own as an outside linebacker. Strong, solid, with an excellent first step.
4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7. To throw is Darnold. He's going to find his tight end. That's Chris Herndon. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Darnold completes it, and a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first. And Darnold is brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he coughed it up and picked up by the Chargers. There he goes left side. And they are going to score on the fumble return. Touchdown, L.A. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play. Running with the ball, but not in this case.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Throwing here on third down. Darnold caught here by Bell. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't
down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, L.A. Boy, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt return. And the Chargers get the quick strike touchdown. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Darnold down to throw. That's complete. It's Bell. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete.
And Darnold, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Darnold, and that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Matt Bosher now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. Fielded just inside the 20. And he's loose again. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. Covered a lot of ground there. 81 yards on the punt return. But the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
Well, you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His second return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points when you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on 2nd down, and that leads to a tough 3rd down call. Now it's Darnold. And that is incomplete.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 30 yards there.
But you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, touchdown number 22 on the season. For the Chargers, they're able to widen their lead.
When you're a great route runner, it makes you that much better as a receiver, because now your quarterback trusts that you're going to be where he expects, and he's able to deliver the ball on time.
No problem there on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And he fields it cleanly. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Charger first.
Looked like the screen pass was taken away there, but what a nice job improvising, finding other options, and completing the pass anyway.
Looking to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Gets it to Gordon. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon ties LT with his 31st touchdown of the year as his guys continue to pour it on. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Darnold off the play fake to Bell. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 27-yard line. A first down throw, Darnold. He's got Herndon, his tight end. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, Darnold. He's going to go down, sacked back at the 13-yard line. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. And it's the Chiefs who are out in front as they move towards the Cowboys. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Rams. Marcus Mariota, a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Runs through the contact. Fights through at the 5. Room here to run, and there he goes again. Touchdown, L.A. He goes 102 yards from one end zone to the other as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Here's Darnold. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Well contained there defensively. The screen gets only a yard, and it's 4th.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They get that little extra tackiness to them now.
And he's loose again. He's at the 30, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, L.A. That, folks, is a 94-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. They'll go again with Bell, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Darnold from the gun. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Casey Hayward, the Pro Bowler, there to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
That's taken on the 25. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. I tell you what, they got the lead here in the second half, and you can attribute part of that at least to some great returns on special teams, particularly in the punting game.
And when we add up yardage during a game, we often miss some of the key yardage, don't we? And that's what you get in the kick return game. In this case, punt returns. We often call it the area of hidden yardage. Changes field position, makes big plays, and that's why they're leading here today.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Second and 14. This is caught by Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely look for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Give them 15 yards on that one and a Charger first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A gain of 3, second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Anthony Lynn, sensing the play clock running out, will call for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remain.
Come on, set, 50, plant.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. Right, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now.
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 29-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 29, Darnold got his man complete over the middle. That's Bell.
Complete to
The offense on third down tonight, it's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're looking at third in the nose of the football. To throw is Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
This is fielded at the 7. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Chargers getting set to go. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's got the first down here inside the 30. There goes Melvin Gordon. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 43 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
Darnold now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And his pass incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Darnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Matt Bosher now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game.
There goes Melvin Gordon. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Great gains back-to-back. Last time over 30 yards, better than 20 here. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Call it no gain, and it's going to be second and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up.
And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. New York set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Darnold on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
So after the sack, here's second and 14.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Darnold down to throw. Caught here by Bell. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll drop the throw, and it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for our visitors, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year. And they'll get another road date next week. Meanwhile,